everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com, joined by Sam and Adam Pacitti. Sam Driver and Adam Pacitti, not the Pacitti brothers.
I wish.
That's a tag team and a half. I expect to see them on this list right now.
Yes, that's right. We are talking about the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Awards for 2018, which was just released today at the time of recording.
Bit late. Lazy Dave.
Lazy Dave.
Lazy Dave. It's been in March.
He's been in hospital and stuff.
Oh, don't make me sound like the bad guy.
Broke his hand.
I'm the good guy.
That's fair enough. Now, these awards are voted on by subscribers to the Wrestling Observer Newsletter. We actually forgot to put in our votes this year.
Tragic.
Lazy Jack.
We do our own ones though. It's called Wrestler of the Week, and it's better.
It's debatable. But so this isn't Meltzer's opinion. This is the opinions of readers of his newsletter. It's not all of them because there's a load of awards. Many of them centered around MMA. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the glorious sport of professional wrestling. So basically, I'm just going to run down 12. Got 12 here, and we'll have a little discussion on whether we think they're right, whether we think they're wrong. I've got also not only the winner, but the second and third place runner-ups too. We'll have a right old chin wag and a lovely discussion. And leave your opinions as well right down there in the comment section below. Let's go. Should we just jump straight in?
Yeah.
Let's do it. We're starting off hot with the Thesz / Ric Flair Award or Wrestler of the Year.
Big fan.
I'll go from 3 up to 1. Bit of suspense.
Okay.
Third place, Kazuchika Okada.
Okay. Nice.
Second place,
Greg the Hammer Valentine, yeah?
Hiroshi Tanahashi. Close. Hiroshi Tanahashi. And Wrestler of the Year for 2018, Kenneth Omega. Ooh.
Right.
3 New Japan guys dominating the top 3.
Is that going to be a theme throughout this? Am I just going to have to sit out?
It's a bit of a... No. You can still talk about it. It's a bit of a...
It's voted for... I sound like I'm making a go at Dave there. It's voted for by the readers, and that seems to make sense to me. Kenny's had an unbelievable year.
Yes, he has, absolutely. Now, I recognise, personally, that Wrestler of the Week is a flawed system because it favours those who wrestle more matches, and Omega had a bit more of a reduced schedule than the winner of my thing.
Well, he should wrestle more matches,
Will
shouldn't
Ospreay.
he?
Well, yeah, it's his own fault.
Yeah.
Lazy game.
But no, he was fantastic. Already, even in 2019, he's had one of the matches of the year that we were lucky enough to see against Tanahashi. And for my money, yes, I think he is probably the best wrestler on the planet today. Would we agree?
Yeah, I would agree.
Can't really argue with that, can you?
This award covers like everything, in ring, out of ring. It's like a general Wrestler of the Year award.
Yeah.
And I think they've got it pretty spot on with that one.
Yeah, I can't think of any reason to like. There are other people who certainly have more hype behind them. Like you could make a case for Becky Lynch being Wrestler of the Year because she's had such a breakout year.
No, there's a separate women's category. Sorry.
Never mind. I think that's right then.
Also, number 4.
You got that water all down you.
I know. I'm not going to reveal the 4th one on this list for everyone, but I thought it was worth mentioning. LA Park got 4th.
The original La Park.
Yeah. I don't understand either.
Like, is it LA Park that like people go wild for one of them? I think it must be LA.
It's
Park.
LA Park, the original La Parker. Yeah.
But like, I can't fathom that.
He wrestles all the time, everywhere, and he still has really good matches. Maybe it's just the consistency of his matches because he is wrestling everywhere, and they're always very, very good. It's a weird one,
he's a brawler now, just a straight-up brawler. He does still do dives and stuff. It's terrifying because he's a larger gent in his old age.
Yeah, he's got bigger.
But like he had a feud with Rush, I think it was, in CMLL over the course of last year, and the matches got like they were very inconsistent from what I saw. Like some of them were great, some of them were pretty bad, for not just for the wrestling, for the booking. I don't see how he's got so high. I think this might be a case of the subscribers trying to be a bit clever.
Maybe, or it's just because he's got a cool mask.
Or the cool mask, of course. As
Arguably the coolest mask in wrestling. Genuinely.
Ooh.
I don't know there. I don't know there at all.
It's so cool.
It's Jushin Thunder Liger.
Fair point. Next
up, we've got Best Mask. No, we don't. We have Tag Team of the Year. I've gone for next. Again, not all of the awards are in here, but you can check them out in the Wrestling Observer newsletter of this week. Tag Team of the Year. 3rd place, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. Fair enough. Fair play. Number 2, the Golden Lovers, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi.
Right.
Tag Team of the Year. Have a guess. This is readers of Dave Meltzer's.
It's
the Young Bucks.
It's
the Young Bucks.
I think that's a shame not to see 2 tag teams that had an unbelievable series of matches with each other, being the New Day and the Usos in there. I would argue that, don't get me wrong, the quality of the matches probably isn't as high as the matches that we're going to be talking about with those. But their series of matches was unbelievable, and they managed to keep a feud incredibly fresh, despite the fact that they were wrestling again and again with often not necessarily a lack of storyline, but not a huge storyline building around it.
That's very fair.
So yeah, I think it's a shame not to see those guys. But I don't have an argument for the Bucks not being there again.
I'd put the Golden Lovers above them, maybe.
I was going to say I'd put Undisputed Era a bit higher, maybe.
Yeah,
Because they had
like,
a ridiculous...
yeah.
They had so many good matches on TakeOvers.
It's
and
just
stuff.
such a bloody, like, oh, the Bucks won it. Like,
They've won it multiple
they're
times
incredible.
before. They are great.
Amazing, but come on.
I know. And I guess as well, a team that I maybe would have liked to see on there would have been Trent Seven and Tyler Bate, maybe. They had
Yeah,
a really
I mean,
good series against the
yeah.
Undisputed Era.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not as sold on that one as we were on the old Wrestler of the Year. I don't
No,
think it's fair to
maybe
say.
they only got number 3 Undisputed Era guys because of the injury, and there were fewer matches with O'Reilly and Strong. It's just those two specific guys. Bobby
It's just
Fish
those two.
was, of course, injured, so
Yes.
maybe they would have been higher had it been those two
If
guys.
you
Who
could
knows?
freebird it. I don't know if these awards fall under the freebird rule or not.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's move on now to Best Weekly Show. Very interesting results here. Very strange.
Best weekly show.
Yeah.
It's NXT.
It's got to be NXT or
It's got to be
205
NXT.
Live.
Number 3,
It's not 205, surely.
Number 3,
205's great.
New Japan Pro Wrestling on Access.
Right.
On
yeah,
AXS.
okay. Yeah.
Number 2, controversial one, Being the Elite.
That's
come on!
absolute
David!
crap.
It's not
Dave.
Dave's
It's not
fault.
Dave, but he must
No,
have
you-
come up with a category. He's like, you vote on...
I don't know if he comes up with nominations or if people, it's just free reign. Being the Elite, number 2.
Observer readers.
That's not a-
disgust me.
It's not a TV show and it's not a wrestling TV show.
So why is WTF Moments or Graded or any of those great shows?
Why is the Cultaholic podcast not on there, for example?
Exactly. What alert? No, that's not.
that is
We
crap.
don't count
That's
that one.
absolute
What was number 1? NXT.
NXT is
Yes,
number one.
yeah,
Which is
that's
rightly
fine.
so, yeah.
What was number 4? So we can remove
I don't know.
Being
We've
the
only
Elite.
got top 3
NXT
here.
is consistently brilliant. I can't think of the last bad episode. I can think of the ones that weren't as strong as the other ones,
Well,
but it's just great.
Yeah.
The only bad episodes are the ones following Takeover because it's just like, here's what happened, here's a squad.
Yeah,
Sure.
and even they're not bad. They're
Well,
still
no,
good.
they've started giving them the name NXT Aftermath to differentiate it from the weeklies.
Nice. Yeah, they're always good. I enjoy as well. NXT has such a it's way more different than Raw and SmackDown in that you can have an episode dedicated to like a whole match.
Yeah,
They've done that
and
before.
It's just as well the backstage segments. Everybody's doing something. Everything's working together.
Everyone's got a story.
Yeah,
100%.
Kathy Kelly might be interviewing somebody and something kicks off in the background.
Yeah.
Like it's just amazing.
Regal's always on top form. As well.
Whenever he turns up, bloody
Whoa.
lazy Regal.
Lazy Regal.
You know
I've
what?
not seen him in weeks.
SmackDown should have been top 3 though.
Do you think?
I think SmackDown's
SmackDown's
in
been
the
good.
past year has it completely shadows Raw at this point. Raw is a slog every week. SmackDown has some of the most consistent storytelling, a combination of that and great matches. You always have a great match on
Is
SmackDown.
SmackDown gonna be able to maintain that when it goes to 3 hours? Because
No.
it's gonna go to 3 hours.
Yeah,
No, I don't think it will.
I don't know if we'll see it on these lists this time next year.
No,
Yeah.
no, which is
Which
But
is
yeah,
a shame.
let's replace Being the Elite with SmackDown there.
All right.
Yeah.
Women's MVP. Number 3, Maiko Satomura.
Okay.
She was in the Mae
She's
Young
had
Classic.
a bit of a resurgence,
She
hasn't
was
she?
killing it in Japan. She was killing it on the UK Indies as well.
Yeah.
She's fair enough. And she's pretty like she's going towards the tail end of her career as well. She's still fantastic in the
Yeah,
ring.
she's still just absolutely demolishing people.
She had what was generally accepted to be the best match of this year's Mae Young Classic, I think, or last year's Mae Young Classic, which was against Toni Storm.
Yeah.
Great match. I think that's a great shout. I forgot. It's one of these awards. Often a good thing about them is they remind you of things that happened, maybe like that you kind of got swept under the rug.
Yeah.
And you kind of forgot about them. So that was definitely one. Number 2 was Ronda Rousey,
Okay.
which
This is last year awards. keep in
Yes,
mind.
yes,
So I
yes.
think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
The WrestleMania tag match was my favourite match of last year's
Right.
WrestleMania. People have certainly soured
Yeah,
on her,
the
not just
wheels-
because of the heel turn. They
The
have
wheels
soured
have
on her
just
anyway.
sort of started to fall off, haven't they?
A little
within
bit,
this
yeah.
year,
I'm
so-
glad the heel turn happened. but
Yeah.
yes, and number 1 Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like
has to
absolutely.
be, doesn't it?
Absolutely no objection.
Oh, absolutely
no, sorry.
not.
There was a long,
No.
unnecessary pause there. No.
Yeah.
She's
been just a force of charisma and stuff recently. So yeah, I don't really think there's much we can debate about that. I think that's probably fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although,
Oh,
no.
Shayna
I'm just saying-
Baszler.
Lazy
Shayna's
Becky.
great. No. Becky Lynch's momentum only really started picking up at the end of last year.
Yeah, like sort
Towards
of
the
after
end, sort of.
SummerSlam.
Yeah. But no, still, she did enough there to
Yeah.
absolutely be.
I'm really worried about Shayna at the minute because the whole thing is like there's now a 4-way at Takeover and like it just feels like they're gonna get the belt off her without her having to eat a pin, and it's like what they're gonna do.
Well, I think that's a good thing.
No, but
think
like
she's-
I'm liking the story where she's just running through people to the point where it needs to become ridiculously unbearable, and it's not quite there yet.
Okay, fair.
Yep, fair enough. Moving on now to Feud of the Year. Oh, number 3, LA Park versus Rush. over in CMLL.
Okay, yeah.
Not a feud that I really know enough about to comment on it, but as I said before, from what I saw, very inconsistent. But you know, number 2. Now, this is what I don't like about the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Awards. Right, Dave does mix for some reason wrestling and MMA. So number 2 is Conor versus Khabib. Conor McGregor versus Khabib. Nurmagomedov.
I think that's pretty fair enough. It's drawn a hell of a lot of money, that's for sure.
I don't like it. I think why doesn't he just have a separate?
I agree.
Set of awards?
100%. 100%.
But I mean, in terms of like, yes, I'm a very casual MMA fan, and I was invested in it as well. So I get that. And number 1, Ciampa versus Gargano, of course.
It has to be.
I didn't even think about it. No. I agree. I totally
I thought you were going to be
that's-
like, not at all.
That's possibly the best feud of the last 5 years, if not decades.
It's been great.
It's been so good. But I'm very surprised not to see Becky and Charlotte on there.
Right, okay.
Just because I think that really picked up once again towards the end of last year. It became very intense, very personal, and was really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
And I don't know enough about the LA Park Rush feud to comment on that. So
Next up, Women's Feud of the Year. No, I'm just joking. Most charismatic. Now, one of the ones I had to leave off was Best Gimmick, which I think ties in with Most Charismatic.
Is all of the Elite number 1?
No.
Okay, that's fine then.
Okay, Most Charismatic. Number 3, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Okay, yeah, I can sort of see it.
I just don't. Richard Tubman's a man who loves Tanahashi, right?
Because the air guitar, he's been doing
I
films.
don't like it's the air guitar.
Go
I hate
Ace.
it. I hate it. And
Use my all power. Is that what his shirt used to say?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
I get it. He's the big hero, classic babyface in New Japan.
And he's got lovely hair.
He does have lovely hair, to be fair. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, fair enough. Number two most charismatic, Becky Lynch, who I thought might have been number 1.
Yeah.
now that's got me struggling to think who number 1 might be.
I think it might be the same person who won it last year. I don't know that for a fact, but it rings a
Who won
bell.
it last year? Naito.
Number 1, Tetsuya Naito.
Yeah, no, he's got this unbelievable charisma. Just looking at him, he's a fascinating guy. You're engrossed by him.
I remember when Ross was starting to get into New Japan a little bit to try and sort of, I think it was for some sort of reactions they had to be on or something. He was just giving it a watch just so that he knew a bit more about it in the build up to something. And he was like, the guy who's immediately caught my eye is Naito.
Yeah,
and I
he's
was
got
like,
this
that makes a lot of
magnetism.
sense.
He's really fascinating to watch.
Even when you're watching it without commentary translating what he says for you, you can tell that people are responding to him.
He's
really
just
good.
like unlike anything else on the New Japan roster, including the rest of his stablemates.
Yep.
He's just unlike them. So.
Yeah, he's great.
Trying to think of a few honourable mentions for most charismatic.
Well,
I put EC3 up there. That's what I thought
For
he would
last
be
year,
top 3. Yeah, for last year, not now. So he doesn't do anything.
I'd
He doesn't
argue a
talk
little
anymore.
bit for Elias.
Elias is very
good
good.
shout as
Yeah,
well.
that's a really good shout. Yeah.
I'd go for Adam Cole, maybe.
Yeah.
Adam Cole, maybe.
Wait.
Velveteen Dream, certainly. But I think
Dream,
I cut it out, but he was definitely top 3 for best gimmicks. So
Okay.
I think Becky Lynch should have won this one. I think Naito should have, if he didn't win last year, he should have won last year. I think he did. Because last year was his year. He was on a roll. Oh, no, wait. No, the year before.
Every year has pretty much sort of been his year for a little bit.
Well, yes. But I don't know. I think Becky deserved to win it this year.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But regardless, Naito has won. I had another one in mind as well. If he hadn't got injured, Takahashi. With his car, with his little car.
Yeah, him and Daryl.
Him and Daryl together. I think so as well. Apart from that, I think we've covered most of the obvious kind of... maybe Ciampa.
No, I've been really enjoying Ciampa's recent promo work.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, very much.
Also Walter he's got a certain silent charisma about it. Yeah. Rookie of the year. Here we go. Number 3, someone that I've not seen nearly enough of to know. Brian Pillman Jr.
Okay.
He's great.
He's
Is
been
he good?
making big waves in is it
very
MLW?
good.
Is he in MLW? Right.
Very good.
Number 2, we're going over to Stardom. Utami Hayashi Shita. She's like the Rousey, I guess, of Stardom. She's like really inexperienced, but just has a natural flair for it. I think she might also be from like a famous family or something. I'm not certain, but like she came into Stardom and she already had a name attached to her for some reason.
Right.
And she's just
that name was The Undertaker.
That's her. That's where he's been all this time, and that's why his matches aren't any good anymore because he's knackered from Stardom.
That's the flights, man. They're just taking it out of it.
Yeah. No, but she's a young rookie in Stardom. She's, I think, physically bigger or certainly taller than a lot of the women there, but kind of wrestles in a way where she's very raw, but is naturally gifted enough to be able to pick up wins over people much more experienced than her. And it totally works from what I've seen. And she's definitely like, I think, being positioned to be the future ace of Stardom. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Number 1 best rookie.
Yeah.
Rousey.
Yes, absolutely.
okay.
Ronda Rousey, best rookie. I don't think anyone can argue with that.
No, absolutely.
No,
She gets storytelling. She really does. Like, forget all of the recent
stuff,
kayfabe stuff.
God.
In-ring storytelling, she does get it.
Her physical sense of timing and presence and everything's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Hey, does Dream count? Is he still a rookie? I guess he's
I don't know.
Because he deserves to be there if he does count as a rookie.
I guess
I'm
that's
not
true.
sure what qualifies one as a rookie.
I don't know how experienced Jungle Boy is, but he's been making waves more this year than last year,
Yeah.
really, over in like the California scene. But yeah, I think Rousey. I remember watching that mixed tag match and thinking, like when I was worried she was going to rush through moves and stuff. She'd hit a move, pause.
She took her
torn,
time, yeah.
And I was like, oh, she just gets wrestling.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy. And then the bit with Triple H was amazing when she lifted him and you see the crowd behind her come up. Even if she only had that one match, I think she'd be in the running for top 3 for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, 100%.
Good.
Yep.
And she also won the day for us against WrestleTalk TV.
She did. She really did.
Get in, Ronda. Hope you lose at WrestleMania, though.
Yes.
Now on to best major wrestling shows, so like best pay-per-view, essentially. Number 3, this should have been number 1 for me. TakeOver New Orleans.
Yes, that is number one. That is number
a
one.
solid pay-per-view.
That was really
It was the
one
best
of the
takeover
shows
ever.
I've ever seen.
One of the best. Well, no, I think it was the best takeover
We had
ever.
the ladder match. We had the Johnny Gargano Ciampa 1.
The first one.
We had Pete Dunne getting screwed over by Roderick Strong. We had a heel turn in there. We had what was it? I think we might have had Emma Moon versus Shayna Baszler,
Yes.
which was a good
Yeah.
match too. But it was just overshadowed by how brilliant everything else was.
Yeah.
And a really drunk, fun crowd.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it was it was just such a phenomenal show. But that's only number 3.
There's not going to be a WWE show above this.
There's not.
No.
The most major shows are. It's all just going to be Being the Elite.
Yeah,
Episode 5, episode 6.
So I guess. Sorry, am I allowed to guess these?
yeah.
Yeah.
Wrestle Kingdom's going to be up there.
Wrestle Kingdom's up there.
Okay.
Another New Japan show.
Yep. So
Dominion?
number 2 is Wrestle Kingdom.
Both New Japan.
Number 2 is Wrestle Kingdom 12, which
Yeah.
I think was good. This was last year's, which
Yeah.
was obviously Jericho versus Omega.
Yeah.
Naito versus Okada, which divided a bit of opinion in the main event.
Yeah.
Maybe fell a little bit short of expectations, which were huge. But it had the 4-way cruiserweight match with Ospreay and Takahashi
Yeah.
and Skrull and Kushida, I think. And it had that.
Sorry, junior heavyweight.
Yes,
Don't say
sorry.
cruiserweight.
And it had that awesome hair versus hair match, Goto and Suzuki, which was a great match as well.
That was so good
So
as well.
I think it deserves to be top 3, but I've swapped that and New Orleans around, I think.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Dominion, which had the benefit of featuring the hour-long Okada Omega match.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And also, I believe Ospreay Skull, their 5-star match was on there, or someone had a 5-star match on Dominion as well. I think it was Ospreay Skull, but I could be wrong on that. That might be that was at Sakura Genesis. There was another match at Dominion which was excellent. I can't quite remember what it was, but it was very, very good. But Dominion is number 1, a show really dominated by that hour-long plus main event. So I'd still say that New Orleans should be number 1 in that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a part of that for me is the runtime.
It was a much better
really
overall
concise
show.
and it's just,
Tight.
yeah, it's
The NXT's got it down.
There was no lull in it though either.
No.
It ran its perfect course.
It was great.
Crowd were hot throughout
Yeah.
as well. They didn't dip. Yeah.
I honestly think, despite the recent injury to Ciampa, this year's WrestleMania weekend takeover could rival it as well. The card.
Oh, we can't say
we
the
can't
card,
say it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
the card that's being built up in the tapings looks insane.
Yeah.
Really, really good stuff. Moving on now to worst major wrestling show of the year.
Oh, is Raw on there?
No, major
Major
wrestling show.
show.
Major
Pay-per-view.
show.
Pay-per-view.
Okay.
So we've
They sponsored
Backlash,
it.
maybe.
so we've got at number 3. It's mine and Matthew's favorite. It's Triple Mania.
Okay, yeah.
Where's my
Vampiro
music?
stuff. That was the best.
Where's my music? I think that was a Triple Mania.
Yeah,
I think
it
it
was. Yeah.
Is that the same
Fantastic.
pay-per-view where he farts audibly?
Yes, it is. Yeah, yeah.
So good.
Yeah, they played the mute. Oh man, Vampiro was on form the whole time.
Have you-
Get a camera on me.
Have you not seen the recent Twitch feed that like AAA is doing English commentary now on Twitch?
Right.
And it's Vampiro and I can't remember the other guy. It's Vampiro and Australian Suicide, the wrestler, and they're sat there. And people are like leaving in the chat, oh, what's going on? Who's this wrestler? And Vampiro starts off by going like, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to do play-by-play.
He starts reacting to the
and
chat.
then like people start rinsing him and going like, you don't know the stories in the company you work for. Like, what's going on? And he's just like, he starts effing and blinding at them. He starts like throwing proper hissy fits. So Australian Suicide starts like goading people into leaving horrible message.
Incredible. Why have they got the chat open? They're not Twitch streaming.
Idiots.
It's like
Idiots.
Michael Cole
But
reacting to all the
my
nasty
favourite-
things said about him.
My favorite part is just that he works closely with AAA. They didn't give him any notes. He probably just went, "Can we do English commentary?"
Yeah. Number 2 is as you guessed, Backlash.
Yep.
Which I think I don't remember what was it just a boring show?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It was Miz and Seth in the opener, wasn't it?
That was the one good match.
Yeah, and then it all went. Woo! Yeah. it declined.
It did. That was good. That was good. That's all the kids will be doing that too.
Piss off.
And number 1, well, we all kind of knew it. Crown Jewel.
Yeah, of course it is.
Which I would, in terms of replay value, I would watch that over Backlash 100 times out of 100.
100%.
Yeah, which is weird because it was worse.
It was entertaining throughout, just because it was so bat-s.
It's like The Room.
Bat-s.
What?
Damn monetization.
What you
It was
so
mental.
crazy.
It was so
yeah.
and it was. I was entertained by it because it was so perplexing.
Like The Room.
But would you rather watch Crown Jewel or Greatest Royal Rumble?
Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel. Oh,
Yeah.
moments
I mean,
galore. And that tag match
actually,
was liquid wrestling.
I guess okay, yeah, Greatest Royal Rumble. I was about to say, can't believe that wasn't in the top 3, but people did try and wrestle good match. Like,
Yeah.
it was just booked like a house show where all the belts didn't change hands and
Plus,
stuff.
Crown Jewel had a lot more stigma around it after everything that's been happening.
Yeah, I
politically,
think that's
so
probably played into it
that
largely.
will have
Well,
played
you
into
know
it.
what? That brings us nicely on to the next award. Most disgusting promotional tactic.
Oh god. Yeah.
So number 3, and again, Meltzer's mixed his MMA and his wrestling. UFC using McGregor crime footage in promos where he threw the dolly at the bus.
Like they
Yeah,
told
yeah.
him to do it 100%.
Do you reckon it was a work?
Completely.
Ooh.
Completely.
Next up, USADA's handling of the John Jones case where they moved a pay-per-view from... or was that this year? Maybe this was a different case last year. I'm not too familiar with
Can we
MMA.
just start like a national steroids league? Where we have like real sports, like it goes on, no doping, and then you have like a doping version of the sport, and then you just see how far the human body
Just
can
these
go
superhumans
doing the 100
And they all
sprint in
die at
4
about
seconds.
35
It's their
as well.
choice. They've got to sign it away.
Now-
I'm pretty sure Vince would love that.
We did used to have
Call
that
me.
in the 80s. It was called professional wrestling. No.
Crown Jewel is number 1, right?
Yeah.
Crown Jewel's number
Yeah.
1. Well, it's more general than that. It's the WWE Saudi Arabia relationship.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, they were being sort of promotional and stuff. weren't
It
they,
was
on-
very
on
uncomfortable at the
air?
time. I remember us reporting it. I was so nervous before every
Propaganda.
news video. I was like,
And
how do I word this?
The chopping and changing to WWE's messaging of the thing, they stopped mentioning where it was being held. And
They
all
took
of this
it
other
off the
stuff.
site. There was rumors
Yeah,
it was going to be in the UK.
It was buried on the
Yeah.
site. I still don't think it's on the last year's pay-per-view on the show's page of WWE.
They don't mind
Um,
whapping the trophy out though.
No,
True, no,
but they
that's
don't
a fair
mention.
point.
But they don't mention where it was won.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
all. Controversial.
I mean, they're running 2 more shows there this year, unless they're going to do big
Reportedly
house
so.
shows. I
Can't
don't know
wait.
what's gonna happen.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
On now to the penultimate award of our video. This one's worst match of the year. Just touched your leg there, sorry, man.
I was wondering why you stopped so abruptly.
Worst match of the year. We've got 3 to talk about, but do you want to get? You stop doing it. Do you want to? Do you want to have any guesses or?
Worst match of the year?
Yeah, of 2018.
Undertaker and
Kane
versus
Trips and Michaels.
yeah.
It's on the top 3.
Oh,
I mean, in fairness, there have been worse matches, sorry,
He's the
than
greatest
that.
Royal
But that's the
Rumble,
one
though.
that sort of really stands out. No, the greatest Royal Rumble was hilarious.
I can tire.
Yeah. Well, not everything in there, just the random people popping up.
The
Yokozuna
Greatest Rumble's not on there.
2.0. Is it not?
Unfortunately, no.
So that was top 3. Worst matches. Is the rest WWE by any chance?
They are all WWE. But in fairness, right, 2018, in terms of, there weren't any proper botchy bad matches now that you think about it, really. Should I just go for it?
Yeah.
Just do it? Number 3, Triple H versus The Undertaker in Australia, Super Showdown.
that was
It was the house showiest of, yeah.
Number 2, WrestleMania 34, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. I guess just more for being dissatisfying than for being
Yeah,
a
I think that's
badly
fair
booked.
enough.
He just hit him with lots of F5s and busted his head open.
Yeah, I mean, what's to say that all of Lesnar's other matches that he did the exact same thing? Why aren't they on there? I
This
agree. I
one
think it
was
is the
egregious.
result.
Like the amount of times Roman kicked out of an F5.
Yeah, that's
and
true. Yeah.
It was 6.
The
wasn't
result, I think he got pinned on the 6th.
Yeah.
Roman had a small comeback, but it was just really deflating.
Yeah, it was.
I can totally understand why it's on there. I think,
Yeah.
even though they didn't make any mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it? Do you know
And then-
what? Like I'm not sure about now that I've just remembered we did Greatest Rookie. Why isn't Nicholas in there?
Yes.
Nah.
of
He
course.
should have been votable.
Hell of
Oh.
a year.
Yeah.
Hell of a year.
And worst match, as you guessed, was DX versus the Brothers of Destruction at Crown Jewel.
Wow.
Which is where Triple H tore his pec. And still, to be fair to him, still battled through.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels nearly...
He broke his
his
head
own
off.
He broke his nose.
Yeah,
And it was botchy as hell. It was and it was it was the first time, maybe not the first time, but you said there, man, the Undertaker, he hasn't got it anymore.
He
that's
whipped himself into the guardrail, I think, at one
Yeah,
point,
of
because
course.
Triple H couldn't pull him because he
And
torn
he
his
just
pec.
ran, didn't he? Oh.
I think it was Taker or Kane.
Yeah.
I think it was Taker.
Yeah.
Kane's mask fell off. Michaels punched
Oh,
Kane's mask
God,
off. Do you
yeah,
remember
no, that was awful.
You
That was
saw
so
his
bad.
face. What?
I know. That's the mayor of Knox County.
The worst part was that he just went and put it back on.
Yeah,
we know
just
what
leave
you
it.
look like.
Yeah, you're Kane.
Like,
I don't know why he did it.
let commentary sell the fact you've been hit so hard your masks come off.
Anyway, and now on to the final award. It's the big one. It's Match of the Year.
Ooh.
There's so many candidates. There've been great matches this year.
It's going to be New Japan. So the right answer is Gargano Ciampa 1.
Whoa, debatable, but okay, fair enough. It was a very good match.
Is it all Okada Omega?
It's not all Okada. That was the year before. That was when they had the big feud.
So is there one on there though?
There is one on there.
Okay.
But there's also like so many that aren't on the top three. That like Gargano Almas was a great match.
Yeah.
Do you know what I loved more than most people online? They said everyone seemed to say it was good, but I thought it was excellent. Was the War Games match?
War Games.
Yeah, War Games.
Everyone was like it was too long, and they preferred the last year's one. I preferred this one.
I preferred the last year's one. I thought they were both great.
I preferred this one for the tactics.
Oh, is the ladder match on there from New Orleans?
It's not, but again, that was really good.
What I really liked Almas versus McIntyre.
Oh,
Yeah, that was a
right.
great
match as well.
Really, it was unfortunate because at the very end, Drew did injure himself.
Yeah.
But that was a great match. It was really good. Trying to think of any off the top of my head that I haven't mentioned on here. I can't. I should just get to it. I can't. There's too many.
Get to it.
Ronda and Kurt versus.
Yes,
Oh,
of course.
That was a great
Yeah.
match.
Quite a few from the G1 as well. I remember Omega and Ishii having another classic match, as they always do. The finals of the G1, which was Ibushi versus Tanahashi. The semi-finals of G1, which was Ibushi Omega.
Yeah.
So many good matches. But the top three are... number 3 was Almas versus Gargano. I've balled it up. That was a great match. Yeah, it was a great match. The first 5-star match in WWE since 2011.
That's right, since Punk Cena, right?
Amazing. Number 2, Ibushi versus Tanahashi in the G1 finals. What have I done here? I prefer
See, what you've done is you've read them and then you've gone, these aren't on it. So
yeah. Number 1 I haven't mentioned yet, but you have. It was Omega Okada 4 at Dominion, the hour-long plus match, which I do have to give the slight edge to over Gargano and Ciampa. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
But not with the other two on there. Gargano Ciampa 1.
I can't believe that's not on the top
2.
3. Yeah, that should be number 2.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it
no, I'm fine with it not being number 1, but for that not to be top 3 is a disgrace.
If you're subscribed to the
Lazy
Observer,
voting.
you should be.
Hashtag cancel Dave Meltzer.
It's not Meltzer's fault. It's the
Yeah,
subscribers
all right.
of the.
Cancel you.
Handsome Dave Meltzer. So thanks very much to Handsome Dave and all of his subscribers for those
Handsome
awards.
Lazy Dave.
If you want to check out the full list, if you're a subscriber, you can to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. And thank you very much for watching our analysis. Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. I've been Jack from Cultaholic. This has been Adam and Sam. And thank you once again. Join us. Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments section down below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter at Cultaholic and on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do, then please do check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Cultaholic, where you can pledge. And don't forget, of course, most importantly of all, to hit subscribe and to join us.